Before the sun rises, a quiet decision is already shaping your entire day. The alarm sounds. There's a brief moment, just a few seconds, where your mind is still untouched. No emails, no demands, no noise, and then, almost automatically, the hand reaches for the phone. Notifications flood in. Other people's urgency replaces your clarity. The Stoics treated the early morning differently. They saw it as sacred ground, the hour where character is forged. And Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself at dawn, "I am rising to do the work of a human being." He wasn't talking about checking tasks off a list. He was preparing his mind to meet difficulty with strength and discipline. Modern neuroscience echoes this ancient wisdom. The first hour after waking is when your brain is most impressionable. What you focus on before sunrise wires the emotional tone for everything that follows. Today, you'll learn 7 Stoic life lessons to rewire your mind before sunrise and take ownership of your morning with intention and discipline. 1. You are responsible for your state. Before sunrise, there is no boss in your inbox, no traffic, no criticism, no chaos. There is only you and your interpretation. This is where the first Stoic lesson begins. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Most men understand this intellectually. Very few apply it at 5:30 a.m. The mind wakes up searching for something to attach to. A problem, a worry, a memory, an unfinished task. And if you are not deliberate, it will default to anxiety. You don't wake up stressed because your life is hard. You wake up stressed because your mind immediately rehearses pressure. The Stoics trained differently. Marcus Aurelius would anticipate difficulty before the day even began, not to feel dread, but to build immunity. He understood that emotional strength is a morning decision. Here is the shift. Your state is not discovered. Your state is chosen. Before your feet hit the floor, pause. Not for motivation, for control. Ask yourself 3 questions. What is within my control today? What is outside my control that I will refuse to carry? Who do I choose to be in the face of both? Notice what this does. It moves you from reaction to authorship. Most anxiety is borrowed from imagined futures. Most frustration is resistance to reality. Both dissolve when you reclaim authorship over your state. This is not toxic positivity. Stoicism is not about pretending things are easy. It is about deciding that your inner climate will not depend on external weather. Imagine 2 men waking up to the same challenge. A difficult meeting, financial pressure, family tension. One says, "This is going to ruin my day." The other says, "This is part of my training." The event is identical. The state is different. The outcome will follow the state. Your nervous system responds to the story you tell it. When you wake up and immediately think, "I'm overwhelmed," your body obeys. Cortisol rises, muscles tighten, breath shortens. But when you wake up and say, "Today I train," the physiology shifts, posture changes, breathing deepens, focus sharpens. And the Stoics understood something modern performance psychology now confirms. Identity drives state, and state drives action. So instead of asking, "How do I feel this morning?" ask, "Who am I choosing to be this morning?" Calm under pressure, disciplined despite fatigue, steady even when misunderstood. You don't wait to feel strong. You decide to act strong, and the feeling follows. Here is a simple 60-second ritual. Lie still. Take 1 slow breath in, 1 slow breath out, and then say quietly, "My state is my responsibility. I choose steadiness. I choose discipline." Do this every morning for 30 days. You will notice something powerful. External stress may remain, but internal chaos decreases. And when the sun finally rises, you're not already behind. You're already composed. Because the first battle of the day was never your workload, it was your state, and you won it before sunrise. 2. Win the first battle. Control what you can. Anxiety doesn't begin at noon. It begins the moment your mind scans the horizon. Before sunrise, your thoughts often jump ahead to deadlines, conversations, bills, expectations. The brain loves to simulate the future. It thinks it's preparing you. In reality, it's exhausting you. The Stoics had a ruthless solution to this habit. Epictetus divided life into 2 categories: things within your control, things outside your control. That's it. Not 10 categories. Not complicated philosophy, just a line in the sand. Most mental fatigue comes from standing on the wrong side of that line. You cannot control how others will respond. The economy, traffic, yesterday's mistakes, whether people understand you. Yet many men wake up mentally wrestling all of these before their feet even touch the floor. That is self-imposed chaos. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Notice what he did not say. He did not promise comfort. He promised strength. Before sunrise, the battle is not against the world. It is against diffusion, scattered attention leaking into things you cannot command. Here is the practice. Take 5 minutes, not 30, not an hour. 5. Draw 3 short columns on a page. Control influence. Release under control. Write, my effort, my preparation, my attitude, my words, my decisions. And under influence, the tone of the meeting, the direction of a project, the health of a relationship. Under release, other people's moods, delays, criticism, outcomes. When you physically write this down, something shifts in the brain. Clarity replaces vague pressure. You stop trying to steer the ocean. You focus on steering the ship. The modern world rewards hyper-reactivity, constant checking, constant adjusting, constant worrying. Stoic discipline rewards focus. And when you wake up and define what is yours to carry, you stop carrying what is not. Think of 2 scenarios. A man wakes up thinking, what if the deal falls through? What if they don't approve it? What if I fail? Another wakes up thinking, I will prepare thoroughly, I will speak clearly, I will remain steady. The outcome is not mine. The second man conserves energy. Energy becomes execution. Execution becomes confidence. Control shrinks fear. But here's a powerful shift. Uncertainty is not the enemy. Attachment is. When you detach from outcomes and attach to effort, anxiety loses its grip. Before sunrise, say this: I control my effort, I control my response. The rest is not my burden. That statement alone can prevent hours of unnecessary stress. And here is the paradox. When you focus only on what you control, your influence often increases. People trust steady men. Opportunities favor prepared minds. Respect follows composure. But you don't chase those results. You earn them indirectly by staying in your lane. This is what it means to win the first battle. You do not eliminate uncertainty. You eliminate distraction. You narrow your focus to the small circle of power that is truly yours. And when the day begins to accelerate, emails, calls, noise, you are not thrown off course. Because before sunrise, you already decided what is yours to carry and what is not. 3. Voluntary discomfort before comfort. The alarm goes off. The bed is warm. The room is cold. Your body whispers, 5 more minutes. That whisper is not harmless. It is training. Every morning, you either train discipline or you train avoidance. The Stoics practiced something modern men rarely do: voluntary discomfort. Seneca would sleep on the floor some nights. He would eat simple food when he could afford luxury. Not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he refused to be controlled by comfort. Comfort is seductive in the morning. It feels earned, it feels deserved. But comfort, when chosen too early, weakens resolve. When you hit snooze, you're not just delaying the day. You are reinforcing hesitation. When you avoid cold air, difficult workouts, hard tasks, you teach your nervous system a pattern. Retreat first, act later, and patterns become identity. The purpose of voluntary discomfort before sunrise is not to impress anyone. No one sees it. No one applauds it. That is precisely why it matters. It builds private strength. Take something small. A cold shower for 30 seconds. A workout when you feel stiff and unmotivated. Sitting upright instead of slouching back into the pillow. Drinking water before coffee. These are not heroic acts, but they are signals. You are telling your brain, I move toward resistance. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Most men interpret that philosophically. Few practice it physically at 6 a.m. Cold water is not about toughness, it is about response. When discomfort hits, your body wants to tense, panic, escape. Instead, you breathe, you stay. That single moment teaches composure under stress. Modern neuroscience shows that controlled exposure to mild stress improves resilience, since your nervous system learns that discomfort does not equal danger. It equals adaptation. The first discomfort of the day becomes a primer. When a difficult email arrives later, you are less reactive. When a tense conversation unfolds, you are steadier. When fatigue creeps in, you don't fold as quickly. Because you have already proven something to yourself, I can endure. And here's the deeper layer. Voluntary discomfort builds self-trust. You stop asking, do I feel like it? You start asking, but is it aligned with who I am becoming? That shift changes everything. Imagine 2 mornings. One begins with negotiation. I'll start tomorrow. I deserve rest. I'm too tired. The other begins with decision. Stand up. Cold water. Move. Which version of you walks into the day stronger? Strength is not loud. It is cumulative. You don't need to suffer dramatically. Stoicism is not self-punishment. It is intelligent friction. Choose one discomfort every morning. No snooze, 20 push-ups. And 2 minutes of cold water, 10 minutes of stretching. Silence before stimulation. Keep it consistent. Consistency builds identity faster than intensity. And something unexpected happens after a few weeks. You stop fearing discomfort. You begin seeking growth. Because before sunrise, you already did the hard thing. You didn't wait for motivation. You didn't ask for permission. You trained, and training before comfort reshapes a man. By the time the world wakes up, and you are already forged, not by noise, but by resistance. That is the quiet power of voluntary discomfort. 4. Do the hardest thing before the world wakes. There is a narrow window before sunrise when the world is quiet, and your will is strongest. No calls, no meetings, no demands. Just silence. And silence is leverage. Most people spend that window consuming, scrolling, checking, reacting. The Stoic approach is the opposite. Create before you consume. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself at dawn, "At day's first light, we must get straight to work, the work of a human being." Notice the phrasing. Not check messages, not prepare to worry. Work. The hardest thing you need to do today. The task that stretches you, demands focus, moves your life forward, belongs in that sacred window. Why? Because willpower decays throughout the day. Decision fatigue builds, distractions multiply, interruptions become inevitable. But before sunrise, Your mind is clean. That is when you write the proposal. Study the skill. Train your body. Have the difficult conversation you've rehearsed. Your deep work early rewires identity. There is something powerful about completing the hardest task before 8 a.m. It sends a signal. I lead the day. The day does not lead me. Think about how different your posture feels when, by mid-morning, your most demanding task is already done. The rest of the day becomes maintenance, not pressure. Now compare that to postponing it. When you delay the hard thing, it lingers. It drains energy in the background. Even while doing easier tasks, and part of your mind is bracing for what you're avoiding. That quiet tension is costly. The Stoic discipline is simple. Do the hard thing first, not when you feel ready, not when inspiration strikes, before the world interferes. Modern performance research supports this. The brain's prefrontal cortex, responsible for focus and decision-making, is most effective early in the day before emotional noise accumulates. But Stoics didn't need fMRI machines to know this. They observed human nature, and we drift toward comfort unless directed otherwise. So design your morning with intention. Here's a practical framework. Step 1. The night before. Identify the single hardest task for tomorrow. Be specific. Not work on business, but draft page 1 of the proposal. Not get healthier, but lift weights for 30 minutes. Clarity removes negotiation. Step 2. Protect the window. For 60 to 90 minutes after waking, no social media, no news, no email. Input later, output now. Step 3. Execute imperfectly. Do not aim for brilliance. Aim for progress. Momentum beats perfection. Something subtle happens when you practice this consistently. You stop fearing effort. You start associating mornings with advancement. Instead of waking up to react, you wake up to build. That shift changes confidence. Confidence does not come from affirmations alone. It comes from evidence. Daily proof that you can confront difficulty. When you repeatedly face the hardest thing first, self-doubt loses ground because you've already acted. By noon, you're not scrambling to catch up. You're extending a lead you created in silence. And here is the deeper Stoic insight. Work is not punishment, it is expression. When you rise before sunrise and move toward the task that matters most, you're not just completing work. You're shaping character. You're practicing courage in small form. You're telling yourself, I'm capable of disciplined effort. That message accumulates. Eventually, mornings stop feeling like a burden. They feel like opportunity. Because before anyone asks anything from you, you have already demanded something from yourself. And you delivered. 5. Guard your mind from digital invasion. Before sunrise, your mind is quiet, neutral, uncluttered, impressionable. And that is exactly why it must be protected. The moment you open your phone, you surrender that space. Emails introduce urgency. News introduces fear. Social media introduces comparison. None of these are inherently evil, but none of them are neutral either. The Stoics believed the mind was a fortress. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Think about that. If the first thing you consume every morning is outrage, envy, or noise, what color is your mind absorbing? Digital inputs are not just information, they are emotional triggers. You wake up steady, you scroll. 10 minutes later, you are irritated, distracted, or subtly inadequate, and the day hasn't even started. The discipline here is simple, but not easy. No digital input for the first 30 minutes of the day. Not because technology is bad, but because your attention is valuable. Attention is currency. When you give it away immediately, you train your brain to react rather than direct. There is a difference between starting your day with intention and starting it with intrusion. When you check notifications first thing in the morning, you're telling your nervous system, other people's priorities outrank mine. That message shapes posture. Instead, claim the morning, hydrate, move, breathe, reflect. Is work. Then check the world. Notice how different it feels when you open your inbox after you've already trained, written, or completed meaningful work. You're not seeking stimulation. You're not seeking validation. You are grounded. Modern neuroscience supports this boundary. Dopamine spikes from unpredictable digital rewards. Likes, headlines, messages create a craving loop. The earlier you trigger that loop, the harder it becomes to focus on slow, meaningful tasks. You teach your brain to chase novelty instead of depth. But if you delay digital stimulation, your dopamine baseline remains stable. Focus becomes easier. Discipline becomes less draining. This is not about becoming anti-technology. It is about sequencing, input after output, creation before consumption. Consider this scenario. You wake up and immediately scroll for 20 minutes. By the time you stand up, your mind has absorbed other people's lives, crises, and opinions. Now you try to sit down and focus on a challenging task. Your brain resists. It wants more novelty, more stimulation. That is not weakness, it is conditioning. Contrast that with a morning where you protect your first 30 minutes. You stretch, you breathe, you journal 3 lines, you complete a short workout or start your hardest task. Then, and only then, you open your phone. Your posture is different, your tone is calmer, you are less reactive, because you chose what colored your mind. Now here is a simple rule. The first voice you hear each morning should be your own, not the algorithm's. Guard that space fiercely. You would not allow strangers to walk into your home uninvited before sunrise, yet many allow digital noise into their mind without hesitation. Protection is discipline, and discipline builds clarity. Say this quietly before touching your phone. I choose my inputs wisely. My attention is not for rent. Then place the device face down. Even 20 protected minutes changes the tone of your entire day, because when you guard your mind before sunrise, you are not just avoiding distraction, you are preserving sovereignty. 6. Practice memento mori at sunrise. There is a reason the Stoics reflected on death, not at funerals, but in the morning. Not to become morbid, not to feel heavy, but to become urgent. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Before sunrise, when the world is still and your thoughts are clear, ask yourself one uncomfortable question. If today were my last full day alive, would I approach it differently? That question changes posture instantly. As petty irritation loses weight, procrastination loses logic, excuses lose credibility. Memento mori, remember you will die, is not about fear. It is about precision. Most men live as if there is always more time. More time to fix the relationship. More time to pursue the idea. More time to get serious about health. More time to say what needs to be said. But sunrise is not guaranteed. That awareness sharpens intention. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Notice the power of that sentence. It doesn't create panic, it creates clarity. When you wake up and remember that your time is finite, you stop drifting, you stop postponing, you stop tolerating the meaningless. Here is the ritual. Before you stand up, take one slow breath. Then ask, if I had 1 year left, what would matter most? If I had 1 month left, what would I stop wasting energy on? If I had 1 day left, who would I call? What would I finish? What would I forgive? You don't need dramatic answers. Just one shift, one priority clarified, One action moved from someday to today. Death, reflection strips illusion. That argument you're rehearsing, not worth it. That habit quietly damaging your health, not worth it. That creative project you keep delaying, it is worth it. This practice also dissolves fear. When you face mortality voluntarily, the small risks of daily life feel lighter. Difficult conversation, do it. Career move, consider it seriously. Apology, make it, because what is the alternative? Waiting. Time is the only asset that never replenishes. Money returns, reputation shifts, energy fluctuates. Time only moves forward, and sunrise is a reminder. You have been given another day, not guaranteed, given. That mindset builds gratitude without softness, urgency without panic. It shifts you from passive existence to deliberate living. Many people wake up thinking, what do I have to do today? The Stoic wakes up thinking, I am fortunate to have today. How will I honor it? Those are radically different states. And here's the paradox. When you remember death, you become more alive. Colors feel sharper. Conversations feel heavier. Moments feel intentional. You stop numbing mornings with distraction. You start inhabiting them. Before sunrise tomorrow, try this. Whisper quietly. Time is limited. Today matters. I will not waste it. Then stand up. Not rushed, not anxious, just aware. Because the awareness of mortality is not darkness, it is fuel. And when you carry that fuel into your morning, you stop treating your life casually. You treat it as finite and therefore valuable. 7. Live by virtue. Before applause. There is one final discipline that determines whether your morning builds strength or ego. It is this. Who are you trying to impress before sunrise? No one is watching at 5:30 a.m. No one is applauding your discipline. No one is rewarding your silence. And that is exactly why it matters. The Stoics believed that virtue, not recognition, is the only true measure of a man. Wisdom, courage, justice, temperance. These were not abstract ideals. They were filters. Before the world wakes up and begins judging you, praising you, criticizing you, misunderstanding you, decide who you are in alignment with these 4 virtues. And wisdom asks, am I thinking clearly? Courage asks, am I moving toward what I fear? Justice asks, am I acting with integrity toward others? Temperance asks, am I in control of my impulses? Most modern stress comes from living for applause, checking if the post performed well, checking if the boss approved, checking if others noticed. But sunrise is private. It is where identity is formed without witnesses. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet his journal was never meant to be published, and he wrote to refine himself, not to be admired. That is the standard. When you train before sunrise, ask yourself, if no one ever knew I did this, would I still do it? If the answer is yes, you are operating from virtue. If the answer is no, ego may be driving. Virtue builds internal stability. Applause builds dependency. If you live for praise, your state rises and falls with opinion. If you live for virtue, your state stabilizes around principle. Imagine 2 men working hard every morning. One does it to prove something. The other does it to become something. The first is fragile. The second is grounded. Living by virtue means this. You speak truth even when it costs you. You complete tasks even when no one notices. You stay disciplined even when shortcuts are easier. You remain calm even when provoked. Before sunrise, choose one virtue to anchor your day. Maybe today is about courage, making the call you've avoided. Maybe today is about temperance, resisting impulse. And maybe today is about justice, handling conflict fairly. Maybe today is about wisdom, listening more than speaking. Write it down. one virtue, one focus. That clarity simplifies decision-making. Instead of asking, "What looks good?" you ask, "What is right?" That shift changes tone. When the world finally engages you, emails, meetings, noise, you are not scrambling for identity. You already decided who you are, and when applause eventually comes, or criticism, it does not destabilize you. Because your standard was never external, it was internal. Say this quietly before the sun rises. Virtue before validation, character before applause. Then move through the day steady, because a man who lives by virtue in private becomes unshakable in public. That is the true purpose of morning discipline. Not productivity, not aesthetics. Character forged quietly before the sun rises tomorrow. Remember this. Your morning is not just a routine. It is rehearsal for the man you are becoming. You decide your state. You control what you can. You choose discomfort. You protect your mind. You remember your time is limited. You live by virtue, not applause. Do this consistently, and you won't just improve your mornings. You'll reshape your identity. Discipline practiced in silence becomes strength revealed in daylight. If this message resonated, comment, "I control my morning." And remember, how you rise is how you live.